soon she is Jill Skinner, and she collects teddy bears. She's turned her home into a teddy shrine. And she's got over 90 bears in her personal collection, and she lectures on the history of the teddy too. And she will join us from our Bournemouth studio as soon as I can do the technical bits and pieces, I promise you. Skinner can be found after a few sherries on the disco floor making darn fools of ourselves. Jill Skinner, well, this is interesting. Jill, you see, when she was young, I'm sure, like you, like me, had a teddy. That very special person in our lives who we confided in. But as you get older, you tend to discard your teddy, or at least you keep it a secret, the fact that you've still got it, when you're 43, 44 and a government minister. However, for Jill Skinner now, this has become somewhat of a passion. Teddies, that is. She shares a home with over 90 teddy bears, and she's turned it into a business, because she lectures on the history of the teddy bear too. Jill Skinner lives in Highcliffe, and she's in our Bournemouth studio now. Jill, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Richard. Bearful greetings to you.
Yes, thank you. Oh, bearful greetings. Oh, lovely. Good. Now, I've got you spread before me. I was saying to people before we came on the air that often it's been an ambition of mine to appear in one of these ideal home-type magazines, and here you are gracing the September issue of House Beautiful.
It is.
How did they find out about you, by the way?
Well, it was all through one of my lectures, Richard, that I gave. And I was introduced by the actual journalist. She became interested in my work, and somehow or other she managed to contact the House Beautiful, and it went on from there.
And it's a wonderful collection of teddies you've got. Did it really, I assume so much, so I'm going to ask you now.
Yes.
Did it all start when you were neighbour lass with your own personal teddy when you were 2 or 3?
It did indeed, and I have my original teddy here in the studio with me listening to you.
They do. It's very easy to be dismissive about all this, but I tell you, when you're a child, certainly, teddy bears are the most important thing in your life, and your own particular teddy is your constant and closest companion. Now, what's the name of your original Ted?
Well, he's just called Teddy. He always has been called Teddy. But he's been with me all my life, and he's been a wonderful companion, and, well, he's just been with me. Everywhere I've been, Teddy always comes with me.
What I find very touching is when you look at children's teddy bears,
yes,
particularly,
exactly.
is those little squash faces where they've been held to people's chests tight.
That's right, yes.
Because they're a great comfort when you're feeling down.
They are.
Now, you've gone beyond that. As we said, you've got well over 90 bears in your collection. And you've been known to spend an entire month's salary.
I have.
Rescuing teddy bears from corners of antique shops.
That's right.
Now, what is behind this? What is the appeal for you? Why have you gone to such great lengths to put together such a comprehensive collection?
Well, I think, Richard, really and truthfully, the teddy bear has always been a fascinating animal or toy to me, and to discover the older type of teddy bears, which of course now have become valuable in their own right. I've hunted the various antique shops and antique stores, and I've been along there, and it's the appealing expression on the teddy bear's face that has just completely won me over. I look for the Farnell teddy bears in particular, which of course are a great asset to any collector like myself.
I'm sorry to stop you there, but excuse my ignorance, but I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. What's a Farnell teddy bear?
Well, a Farnell teddy bear was actually made in this country. It's an English teddy bear, which dated back to about the 1800s. And the actual company started in Acton in London. And they were renowned for their teddy bears, which are really on a par now with the Steiff bears to a collector like myself. And they're noted for their wonderful features, their long arms, such as a Steiff has. And the one that I have in my collection was actually given to me. He was going to be thrown in a dustbin, which was quite a horrible thing to think of. And I rescued him, and I've had him restored, and he's a wonderful asset to my collection. Everybody loves him. He's called Teddy Robinson.
And what about the Steiff bears? Now, all I know about this is it's a German company.
That's
Why are
right.
they so special, then?
Well, they're special, Richard, because Margareta Steiff started the factory a long, long time ago in Germany. When she was a little girl, she was struck down by polio at the age of 2, and she was crippled and was confined to a wheelchair for the remainder of her life. And as she was a seamstress, she decided to do something useful with her hands, and she started making, the very first toy that she made was a little pincushion elephant, which the children loved, and from then on she started making various soft toys, but it was through her nephew, who was a graduate at one of the universities, that he did a lot of sketches of the various animals in the zoo. And he brought home to Margaretta a sketch of a bear, and that was how she created the first teddy bear, and the first jointed teddy bear as the world was to have known it.
Well. So, and how many years ago was that?
Oh, that was back in about 1874, Richard.
Because I was going to ask you why the bear has become the most popular children's toy. And you think of the changes that have come about, all the sophisticated toys that have been available in the latter part of this century. We've still got a few years to go on that one, but still, you'll be hard-pressed to find a small child who doesn't want or have a teddy bear as their closest companion.
Yes. Well, I think, Richard, a teddy bear in himself, or whether it can be a girl teddy bear, it's entirely up to whoever, chooses either a female, or it doesn't really matter. But to me, a bear is a companion. He's somebody that you can talk to, somebody that's always there to give you comfort in times of sorrow or sadness. He's there to share in your joys as well. And all through your life, he's a faithful companion right up until the very end. And I think everybody loves a teddy, really and truthfully. There's something so wonderful about them. You can sort of just enjoy them. And my family, or my boys as they're referred to, everybody loves them. And to me, they are my family. They've all got their own characters and personalities, which, it's just wonderful. And everybody says to me, oh, but they've all got their own expressions or personalities, Jill. And I say, well, of course they have.
It's interesting. I know you were being politically correct there to differentiate between male teddies and female teddies, or male bears and female bears.
That's right. Well, you can pop a dress on one and put a suit on the other.
Yes, because I didn't know they had genders. You see. I'd never thought of them in sex. You know what I mean, Jill?
Well, that's entirely up to the owner.
So let's hear some of your stories very briefly, because time flies when you're enjoying yourself,
course.
as you'll be aware. But are there more treasured ones than others? Are there some interesting stories associated with how you came about some of your teddy bears?
Yes, well, my little Bertrand Blue Bear, he's a Farnell teddy bear, and he's a very rare little bear. Now, I found him in an antique shop, and he was sitting all alone in a little corner on a chair. And I went in and I thought, I've just got to have him. There was something very special about this little bear. And apparently he had belonged to an old lady for a very long time, and she had sadly died, and he had come into the antique shop amongst her other possessions, and he apparently was found in a cupboard drawer. So that's how Bertrand Blue Bear came to me.
Extraordinary. So after that lady passed on then, obviously they cleared the house.
That's right.
He ended up in the corner of an antique shop. And what a lucky bear. I mean, he ended up with somebody who really cares for him.
That's right. That's right.
So what would you, I don't want to get too mercenary about it, but I mean, what would you expect to pay for a fairly rare teddy bear? We talked about you spending a month's salary rescuing one particular bear, one lucky bear, but I mean, how much would you spend, or is it limitless according to who you wanted to buy?
Well, it's absolutely limitless, Richard, because the striped bears alone offer, and you can pay up to about 4,000, 6,000, 24,000, anything up to that. In fact, there was one that was sold for £55,000 a couple of years ago.
Good heavens.
Yes, they really are. It's incredible. People don't realise the value of the bears. But it's not the price you pay for them, it's the love that they give you in return.
So you wouldn't contemplate selling your collection or any part of it?
No, I would not. No, because they're my family. And I get a great deal of joy and happiness from them.
So you're not a married lady? You don't have children, I assume?
No, I'm to be married next month, Richard.
Now, all right. In that case, congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all.
Thank you.
And how is your groom-to-be? Because, look, he's got to move in with, I take it that most of your teddies are boys.
They are.
He's got to move in with probably around 90 other lads who, in fact, you've known probably longer.
I have.
So, what's he make of that?
Oh, he's quite happy about that. He's now sought permission as to whether he could marry me.
But I tell you what, now, after the honeymoon, when we go back home again, I would be convinced that those teddy bears were watching me and what I was getting up to. So they're going to have a room of their own, aren't they?
Definitely. definitely.
So look, have you got a teddy bear theme for your wedding? It would seem to be the only appropriate thing to do, surely.
Well, my teddy that's sitting here with me in this studio, Richard, is going to be the best bear.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, wonderful.
That's
wonderful.
right.
Well, Jill, I wish you every happiness.
Thank you very much,
I am
Richard.
convinced that your future husband is a very lucky man because you've shown so much affection to these teddy bears. I'm sure you're going to spoil him as much as you have your bears. Huh? So he's a very lucky man indeed. But, you know, I had no idea that you were shortly to be married, and congratulations
Thank
on
you
that.
very
That's wonderful.
much, Richard.
And a wonderful story, and thank you for sharing, well, in a way, your teddy bear collection with us. And you can see all of Jill's bears, but sadly not her fiancé, in House Beautiful, which is available now. It's the September issue, and it's a wonderful collection. And actually, as you look at them, they do all have their own dear little sweet faces, don't they? If ever you want them babysat, then I'm available.
Right, I shall remember that, Richard.
Thank you, Jill.
And thank you, and please give my best wishes to everyone at Radio Solent.
Yes, you've done that. Thank you very much indeed, and all the very best with the wedding and married life.
Thank you very much
I hope
indeed.
your teddy boys don't get too jealous.
I'm sure they won't.
Bye-bye, Jill.
Bye-bye, Richard. Thank
Mm.